lovely wife of Monsieur Mats, Mats. Well, if you want to go hang out and see Judy, the woman that's got to put up with his nonsense, she's over there and she's running the merch table. We have T-shirts for sale. They have been now reduced to $25, right? You're getting a special here live at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. It honors the 7-time world champion Jonas Neubauer. It is a fantastic shirt. Get it now. Sizes are running limited. And also we have the fancy Tetris watch. Again, it is only available here right now in Portland Retro Gaming Expo. It will not be available for sale until the pre-sale happens on October the 24th. So you can get the exclusive on this fantastic watch and play Tetris on your flights home or wherever you're headed after this. So, folks, get into your seats, buckle it up because we're ready for a ride.
Greetings, citizens of Tetris. It is your old pal Van Dweller back with more classic Tetris monthly mega Dasters, and it is time for our top 32 regarded. Take a look. Can you actually read that? You can't read that, right? It's impossible. How are you going to read that? But what we have got for you today is the orange and maroon brackets. That is the top left-hand corner of the screen that you're looking at right now. It's going to be Bendy, our number 1 seed, versus Micetro, who came through seed number 33 below the fold in this top 62 to make it here into the round of 32. And Myles will be taking on Storm, another below the fold player, seed number 48. Bendy and Myles got 2-round buys, so they get to start in the top 32. Micetro and Storm had to fight their way through the early rounds. They did it. So it's going to be Bendy versus Micetro, Myles versus Storm, and then winner versus winner for a top 16 spot. So that is pretty cool. We have one other result in our top 32. And that is Eliash and Adam. Eliash made it through Adam in a very quick match. Kind of what promised to be a very hype, kind of taking it to the end kind of match. It did not happen that way. And it was very quick. So, I don't know, hoping that this isn't the case with any of these matches today. 3 matches for y'all. And a little bit mad about Jonas Cup. I can't believe they scheduled the Jonas Cup top 8 right over the Mega Dasters orange and maroon bracket. That is ridiculous. So I am very angry about that, but we're going to soldier on and get these through. Okay? That is what is happening right now. Let's take a look at our rules. Yes, there are rules. And the rules are that this is a 64-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System on NTSC consoles. Players can play on emulator or console so long as the game mechanics, experience, and statistics are unmodified. They could use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used, whether electronic, mechanical, or even biological. No biological turbo, because this is a DAS tournament, so players should make sure to heed the spirit of DAS. This is the press and hold play style, not the slow tap 9 hertz all the way through play style. Players are allowed 1 quick tap at the end of a DAS movement and kind of 2 and 3 taps in the middle of the board. Not going to police those too heavily. But those 4 and 5 taps, or those 4 and 5 column movements, sure as hell better be the press and hold play style. Now we are going to continue on doing best of 5s through the round of 32 and the round of 24. Top 16, I think we're going to kick in. We're going to kick in the skunk rule, which will make that a best of 7 unless one player wins the first 3 games, and then it will be relegated to a best of 5. So we're going to do best of 5s here. So the first player to 3 wins is the winner of the match. Level 18 starts all the way through. Same piece sets re-rolled in between each game of the match. No increment. Hertz and input display turned on. Don't receive any in-game advice. Don't pause. And if you do experience tech issues or anything else, just keep playing. Do not pause. Do not pause. Just keep playing. Assume your game will count. And the winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share in the prize pool. The winner here goes to the top 24 and then the top 16, right? So the first, there's a top 24 and then a top 16, right? So we're in the round of 32. The next round, 24 and then 16, right? Is that how it works? That's how it works. Anyway, yes, the prize pool, we are looking at $2,650 in the prize pool right now. Once we get past today, I'll go ahead and put out the incentives and tiers and what we're looking to reach as far as goals. So we will go ahead and do that at some point. But we are looking to build a championship caliber prize pool, and we are going to be flattening out our pay structures in this tournament and our monthly tournaments as well, just to flatten it out a little bit, take a little off the top, put a little more at the bottom, kind of adjust the middle a little bit. This is going to allow players to play these monthlies and have an opportunity to sort of start to, save to go out to live events and things like that. So we are going to start to flatten that out, starting with the Mega Dasters prize pool. So traditional prize pool that we do for our Mega Masters will be flattened out a little bit. Anyway, details to come, but use the Micetro command to Bendy. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The winner does not go to the top 8 of the first round? What? Is that what happens? Anyway, all right, let me take a look. Let me look. Maybe I'm wrong. After this stream is done. So let's see. After this stream is done. Yeah, after this stream is done, they do go to the top 8. You're right. So top 32, yes. Top 32 to top 16 to top 8. You are correct. So we are going to determine a top 8 finisher. I got it wrong. I was wrong on the internet. My God. All right. So a top 8 finisher will be determined. It'll be Bendy, Micetro, Myles, or Storm. Bendy, you've done it. All right. Anyway, use the Micetro command. Bring up the links. Click on the link for Mega Dasters. That'll take you to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner, Micetro. And you can log in with your existing Twitch or YouTube account, or even your Discord account. No need to make a separate account for Micetro. And once you're in, hit that orange mustard button, whatever, and you can contribute from there. Thank you to everybody who has contributed so far. Looking to really build that prize pool. And, we in a lot of ways, these online qualifiers throughout the year, what the players can use to sort of build their funds to go to live events, just like the one that's happening over at CTWC in Portland. Okay, that's how to support the players. Patreon is a way to support the stream. Go to patreon.com/monthly Tetris to make an ongoing pledge of support to keep this channel going, just like the people on this screen has done. Yeah, no worries, Bendy. Sorry, I messed up. Scott Gray, Jay in the window, K9, Tacky, Corporal, Shelby, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Kaka, Java T, Jason Sonny Jr., everybody else on this slide, and a few people who have yet to be added. We had some signups overnight, actually. So thank you to y'all, and we will get you added to this slide. Hopefully, I have a day off tomorrow, I think, so hopefully we'll be able to get that going. Anyway, patreon.com/monthly Tetris. That's a great way to support us. There's other ways to support us. Use the support command to find those. You want to make a pledge via PayPal. The link for PayPal is there as well. So you can make an ongoing payment through PayPal if you want to support us that way too. Thanks to everybody who is contributing. All right, we're going to flop you on over to this whole thing. We'll see you. There it is. We'll get these cameras sorted. Micetro always in a different spot, so we'll fix Maestro's cam. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo. What are we in? Das Masters? These are Das Masters seeds. Okay. Where's this other open thing? It's so annoying. There we go. All right. Micetro, you are not on camera at all. Like this is you. Are you able to point the camera up a little bit? I don't care about hands, but you are like not. This is what we have, Micetro. All right, that'll do. All right, that'll do, pig. That'll do. Thank you. Perfect. Beautiful and wonderful. All right, you keep moving. I'm trying to adjust it. They keep moving it. Now we have just the ceiling. We have the entire ceiling. Whoever's adjusting the camera, can you adjust it so that Maestro's head is like, got some head space above the top of the camera? Like, we're just looking at the ceiling now. So you've got a little bit of negative space above Maestro's head. That would be perfect. Like a little bit, like a sliver. That would be great. I can't work with a camera like this. There's just two settings, like cutting off the head or giant space over the head. Like, is that those are the two options? Those. Why are those the two options? Okay, all right, leave it. Yeah, yes, good. Okay, good. Yes, right, perfect. Yes, thank you. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Oh no, don't move it again. Don't move it again. It's fine. Oh God, why are you keep moving it? Why do you keep moving it? Why do you keep moving it? Don't move it anymore. Don't move it. Okay. All right, good job. All right, let's get both these players some pieces so we can get underway. Am I fun? Am I fun? Am I laughing because it's funny? Because it's funny. Because it's funny. Life is funny in that way, isn't it? Bendy, I will. If you mess with your camera, I will absolutely throw a hissy fit. Don't mess with me, guys. Don't mess with me. All right, there you go. Okay, it looks like we're good. The pieces are here. Everybody leave their thing just like it is. It's sabotaging me. I know. I can't. Bendy, I swear. Don't. Not today. I got 3 hours. I gotta do it. I gotta get through it. All right, the pieces are EE60B4, EE60B4. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let's make sure that they are on seed. They're on seed, so let's get them started. CTM Mega Dasters Top 32, Bendy versus Micetro in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. On the left side of your screen, it is Bendy, who qualified into this tournament into seed number one. Number one is the seed number for Bendy, qualified in with a 1.16. That was the average of his best 3 games played in a 75-minute qualifier. Averaged a 1.1 in 75 minutes. Top 3 games. Amazing. Has an overall PB of 1.29. And Bendy was ranked number 6 in the most recent Premier poll. That is a ranking of Tetris players done by a poll of Tetris broadcasters, journalists, and other luminaries. And Bendy was chosen number 1 in the most recent Premier poll. That is done quarterly for DAS tournament play. Bendy is the winner of the 2024 silver bracket for CTWC. He's also won a hopeful circuit back in September of 23 and was a runner-up in a DAS Masters, one of our monthlies, in January of 25. 2 visits also to the top 4 in our monthly DAS Masters event. Also this year, you've seen Bendy at Vegas in 2025, taking a top 4 spot there. Bendy made his debut in the gold bracket of CTWC this year, went out against Tristop because, of course, everybody would. Bendy also made his Mega Masters debut in 2024, played in Tap Masters this year as well, making it to the top 8. played in our No Next Box tournament as well. So Bendy is here playing a lot of stuff. So good to have Bendy here. Number 1 seed. In virtue of that top seed, though, he got to start out in the round of 32. Did not have to play in the preliminary rounds. Unlike Micetro, seed number 33 on the right side from the USA, qualled in with a 952,000 average of 3, a 1.22 million PB, and that's a top 50 PB. 212 Micetro, 245 Bendy here in game 1. Micetro has matches in the database going all the way back to April of 2020. What a time that was. He's played a lot of matches. You've seen him in Detroit. Played a bunch in our monthly DAS Masters already. Seen him at the Kansas City Retro DAS Tournament. CTWC Illinois last year. CTWC Columbus Mega Masters in 23. He's also played in Gauntlet a bunch in Classic Tetris League. So good to see Micetro here. The DAS Revolution, the DAS Evolution. Micetro, of course, a big booster of DAS, loves DAS, wants to be one of the top players in the world. And yeah, if you're in this tournament top 32, you are, well, you're pretty much there. 327 for Bendy, 299 for Micetro. Interesting about the set of matches we've got today, Bendy versus Micetro and then Myles versus Storm. All the players from the US. You would have expected that if we were doing a bracket during Jonas Cup, you know, it would be all of our international players. But no, they're all Americans. So these are all the players who are not at the Jonas Cup. Maybe the best players who did not make it to the Jonas Cup. You know, they applied, they were turned down. That's CTWC, man. It's terrible. 320 for Micetro, 376 for Bendy. That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Micetro did win Kansas City DAS. I skipped over that. Beat Blue Scooty, Matt Martin. So, legit. Can you believe it? But anyway, yeah, these are the best players who are not at Jonas Cup. You know, not everybody can just travel out to one of the coastal cities of the U.S. just on a lark. Okay? This is why we need online tournaments. 433 for Bendy, 415 for Micetro. Micetro set up with a little tuck there. Going to get that spin, actually, off the Blue Jay, but going to miss the Z spin, and we'll have to clean up. Of course, Jonas Cup top 4, I guess, should be going on right now. And I think, like, most of the players who made to the top 8 are in this tournament, kind of yet to play or made it into the top 32. So it's great to have a tournament that, you know, features the best players who are able to make it out to the Jonas Cup, but also the best players who are not able to make it out to Jonas Cup or CTWC DAS earlier this year. So I do love online tournaments for that purpose. 490 for Bendy. He's on 19. Micetro at 482 on 21. How are you, Vandy? All housing issues are resolved, I hope for you. Nope, they are not. They are not resolved. We have a portable air conditioner. Guy's coming back Monday. I think when they cleaned the motor in the AC unit, they destroyed the motor in the AC unit. And so they've had to special order another one. And so now we have just this portable, you know, AC unit with a vent out the window. So, no. But no mold smell, but there is, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Micetro with that quick tap, I believe, to get that piece over to the left side to try to stay alive in this match. Oh, Micetro with that. Jay gets the bar over, so Micetro fighting to remain alive. Would love a bar down there. Anything. There's a bar. That's going to be good for a double, and that is it. So he's going to have to... No, he's not going to find anything. And that is going to be a top out for Micetro at 533. And Bendy is good in game number 1. I got to admit, even Vandy wants to go over and look at Jonas Cup. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I want to go look, see what's going on. It's the semifinals. 2 of our Das Masters winners are playing right now in the semifinals. That's pretty crazy. All right, new pieces players. FDFD A8. So basically, the 2 Americans who have won Das Masters, they are in the semifinals right now. FDFD A8. All right, both players ready. Both players on seed. Let's get them started. Game number 2, Bendy versus Micetro. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. It's you know, it's hard not to go over there and look. You can multi-twitch if you want. By the way, Zard Jordan, I missed your sub earlier. Thank you, Zard Jordan. 60 months at tier 1. Really appreciate that support. That is 5 times 12. 5 years, Zard Jordan. Thank you so very much. Very, 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 very special to have people supporting us for so long. Tetris Micetro, 70,000, 93,000 for Bendy. Remember, players, if you experience any kind of stream hiccups or computer slowdowns or OBS issues or anything like that, just make sure you keep playing. We will sort it out. Nothing's happened, but just in case you do. This we do have slideshow on one of our players. It's like we have a 10 hertz stream for one of our players. 119 here for Micetro, 141 for Bendy. That's an event I wish I could have gone to. Unfortunately, I'm not made of money, guys. I can't just like Bendy, Micetro, Myles, and Storm. I can't just pick up on a whim and travel across the country and, you know, potentially not come home with anything. Oh wait, you can pick up on a you can pick up on a whim? I'm including you, just like you. Oh, Bendy can? Bendy just doesn't want to go. That's a pretty, I mean, it's a pretty big omission, really. At least 3 of y'all. Now, Storm does play on keyboard, so I don't know how prepared Storm is to play. I don't know how, how good Storm is on console. So, but really 3 big omissions, Bendy, Myles, and Micetro, really should be at an event like this. Like Jonas Cup. But not everybody can go every year. Some people have school, work. People want to save and do other things. Maybe they can only make it out to one event a year and not that one. I feel like Bendy at some point in the future will be selling a no money down real estate system course, like for $497 with 2 free gifts. I feel like Bendy will be doing that at some point. $337 for Bendy, $346 for Micetro. But that's good. That's not a scam. It works. You can do it. So it's good. Storm says, I've never played on CRT before. Also, I'm worse a controller now since you've been playing lots of keyboard. Well, that's what I say. So, you know, maybe between now and next year's Jonas Cup, maybe you can figure out how to get on console, get on controller, you know, and make a run here. I mean, 1.3 on keyboard, nothing to sneeze at. Keyboard is not easy. I don't think it's easier. I don't think it confers an advantage. So if you can get a 1.3 on keyboard, like legit DAS, Bendy playing eyes closed like Berenyi, like 2019, like Richard 2019 style. Bendy was not around for that. But back in the day, it used to be like Richard looked like he was playing with his eyes closed. It's the business like shirt. Yeah, I agree. He could sell me something. All right, so Bendy taking a little bit of a rest there so he can rest up for the post-19 phase of this game number 2. 530 for Bendy, 554 for Micetro. So decent paces here as we approach 19. Micetro a little bit ahead in lines. $600,019 for Bendy, 566 for Micetro. But yeah, back in the day, people used to, you know, Richard Brenyi _KFT, of course, 2-time Masters event winner. 2-time? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, he played with his CRT like on the floor. And so he was like looking down and it looked like his eyes were closed. $655 Bendy, $648 Micetro. Tetris Bendy, there is another one, 735. 684 for Micetro. Bendy, the 6 lines back. See what Maestro's gonna do. Yeah, really regretting not to the Jonas Cup. Especially, I didn't realize my friends were going out to Portland this weekend, so would have been like the best time. Like, these are not Tetris-related friends, you know? All right, Micetro trying to bring this down. 799 Bendy, 100,000 point lead on 23. Now, level 29 is what we're looking at sort of as the end of these games. 230 lines in, virtually unplayable. Sometimes you'll see players get, you know, level 30. We've seen Andy get 31, 32. But certainly all the significant scoring you're going to do is going to happen before 230 lines. Players making their way there. 845 for Bendy, 715 for Micetro. So I had my friend walk around PRG actually because it was like rainy. I'm like, yeah, go get some selfies with Tetris players. And he did. He got selfies with Fractal and Scooty and Sharky and then Kingsman. So he got all got a good collection there of selfies with Tetris players. It's not creepy at all. 50-year-old man trying to get selfies with 16-year-olds. It's fine. It's totally fine. 977 for Bendy, 798 Micetro. All right, Micetro going to open up here. This is going to be really difficult for Micetro. He's going to have to... I mean, he doesn't really have room here. He's just going to try to play out the string, do his best, make a good show of it. Party down the middle, Micetro. Maybe he can try and set up for... You get one and then try and set up for two. But Bendy, A54, 200,000 points are not going to be chased down by Micetro here. But he's doing his best to try to get one and another. And he does get some points after 29, but that is going to do it. Bendy gets the Tetris down the middle, A92, crosses his arms, and he is good. Yeah, great game for both. Double 29s. And, you know, when you take it all the way, that's sometimes all you can really do. All right, the new pieces are here. Players 338 DDE. So your 1.3 is with tapping, is that right? I'd imagine the 1.3 is with, yeah, tapping. Okay. Hybrid. So tapping, right. 338 DDE. Hybrid. If you tap it all, it's tapping. That's it. Okay, 338 DDE. Both players ready. Game number 3. Micetro needs to win to stay in. Bendy looking to wrap it up right now. Punches ticket to the top 16. So once Jonas Cup is done, we'll be able to fundraise a little bit. Of course, they had to do a telethon just to keep that, just to make sure that that tournament happened, because it's an issue with a sponsor. And so that event wasn't, I don't even think was going to happen if they didn't fundraise for it. Unfortunately, that took a lot of money out of the Tetris fan economy, right? So something that could have been done by a sponsor instead had to be made up for by the viewers. So prize pools might be a little lower than normal. 70,000 for Bendy, 71,000 for Micetro. Micetro setting up the Vits and filling the Vits in, but ends up having to take the triple. Vits is good if you can avoid taking the burns. All right, Bendy playing one-handed, thumbs up. That's too easy. Now, what would we do? What would we do if there was like a three-handed Tetris player? And they could, like, you know, skibbity tap 30 hertz every time. Like, well, I mean, that would, you'd have to allow it, right? Couldn't say, oh no, you're disqualified. So we need to find the three-handed Tetris player. I mean, there's got to be somebody. All kinds of anomalies happen, right? Mutations and whatnot. We got to find that person and teach them NES Tetris. 179 for Micetro, 210 for Bendy. All right, Bendy using a fractal grip right now. Is a little bit ahead in score, a little bit behind in lines. The vertigrip might be the best way to put it if you want to elide some syllables off that monstrosity of a locution. So I'm going to call it the vertigrip or the fractal grip. Yeah, so pretty close. Tetris for Micetro. Bar down in column 8 for a triple Bendy. It's going to help him clean up. So the next match is going to be Myles versus Storm. Myles, one of the top players in all of Tetris that is, you know, not at the Jonas Cup, trying their hand at a DAS championship. $397 Bendy, $420 for Micetro. I mean, imagine, there are people that think like, oh, if you hold the controller like that, it's not DAS. Like, why would you think that? Why would anyone think that? Like, why would anyone care? Like, I mean, hold it behind your back. Who gives a crap? Like, why would anyone think that is an issue? $494 for Micetro, $429 for Bendy. Stop giving Bendy ideas. I'm not giving him ideas. What are you accusing me of? What, me? All right, $454 Bendy, $518 Micetro. Micetro just 3 lines to go. And he's gonna have to burn in here, but the board is low and dealable with. Oh my God, one hand Bendy. What the heck? So Micetro here, 527. There is a dirty Tetris, column 7, 1 row off the bottom. Bendy, 19 entry, 481. He is set up down the middle, column 5, gets it. So 50,000 points back. Bendy also 7 lines back. Another Tetris down the middle, Bendy. So kind of doing it. Oh no, I think he was trying to go for an adjustment there to stay set up in the center well, and now he finds himself in a bit of a pickle. All right, he's found some burns, and he's just going to take that triple down the middle, not going to mess around, or at least he's not going to mess around for the next 15 seconds. Oh, Micetro is in a bit of trouble, but gets a long bar down for a Tetris, and is going to bring the stack down. 6-17, Micetro still in the lead, but trying to fight this stack down. Quick taps happening. Hyper jolts. Got to quick tap that T over to the left. And great survival here for Micetro to just even try to stay alive. But yeah, I had to quick tap that piece over again. And he's just fighting here, the survival, and he's going to need to, because he is behind and he is going to top out. And Micetro tops out at 631, Bendy 642. Bendy is going to take this one in a sweep and move on to the round of 16. Micetro, you did great. Always a pleasure, always a joy to see you playing. One of these days you're going to crack through. But for now, it is going to be Bendy moving on 3-0. All right, back to Jonas Cup. All right. Now, we're going to run an ad. We're going to bring our next match in. It's going to be Myles versus Storm. A little ad while I fix all that up. Thanks, Luis Pereira, for hanging out over on YouTube. All right, so it's goodbye 1, hello 16, and then goodbye 33, and hello, what did I put you on, 11? What slot are you on? Storm is on slot 11. All right, let's refresh these individuals. And we'll reset the transform here for Myles. Myles is not on camera at all, so all right, now he might be. All right, there you go. Yeah, I thought it was cut off, but I see what I'm up against. All right, we'll move Myles over here. Do our little magic of television. All right, so there you go. Watch the top, and now it matches. Watch the middle, just above the yellow sign where it says Mega Dasters. And that now should maybe not match, but it's close. And then the bottom. So we got the illusion of immersion. Wowies. All right, Storm is here. We'll get Storm all situated. What are you on, 11? Okay. All right. Well, as soon as we get a Myles sighting, we will get this sorted. Three minutes. All right, 3 minutes, guys. Storm, 3 minutes. I know bro is just watching Jonas Cup. I know it. I know he is. Eyes wide open, guys.
Back to Chris and Sharky. Let's get it on.
So who's
All right, we have a lot of contributions that flooded in while
all right,
we
so
were
close your ears if you don't want Jonas Cup spoilers.
And shutting them out.
A big thank you to that.
I don't even know who's in. Who's in?
Donating 420.69.
Ah, 420.69, guys. Ha ha ha.
And also Nate Swanson saying good performance dog, contributing 59.69, and Hooded Fool with 9.62. Thank you so much as we edge closer to our next goal.
Oh, okay.
Now,
All
Andy
right.
versus Fractal.
And it was a.
It's been very interesting to see.
Oh, that's right. So this is Fractal versus AV Geek about to happen.
Last match between Dog and Andy. Yes, it was a sweep.
I'm glad, you know.
Really look at the story of each match, and I think that is.
I do. Listen, I'm not rooting for anybody in particular, but it is good to see
Despite how many sweeps we've
Andy
had to see the story of each match
in the
because a lot
finals.
of them
Just,
were
you know,
close.
he's got that
I think
narrative
a lot of
around him that he
those
can't do it
ones were
live,
by
so
literally one
he's
touch.
got a real chance.
Yeah, and
So I like to see the story. It's a good story.
And everyone was earned. It was just so close. And like I said, I'd be heartbroken no matter the outcome, but I know how bad you wanted it. So yeah. But yeah, here your nemesis Fractal is here against AV Geek. AV Geek, such amazing performances she's done. Like not just here in DAS, but like in CTWC this year, and then in Jonas Cup last year as well.
You can already see some more.
Oh, all right. Myles is here. Welcome, Myles. All right, I'm closing Jonas Cup. Goodbye, Jonas Cup. Hello, Myles. All right, my players. It is time to give you all some pieces. Oh yeah, Myles. Yeah, you need your Hertz and input display, Myles. If you didn't, yeah, you turned it on. All right, good. All right, 6B2986. Looks like both players are on seed. Both players have signaled ready. CTM Mega Dasters round of 32. The winner will move on to face number 1 seed Bendy. Let us get them started in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. On the left side of your screen, seed number 16, Myles. He qualified in with a 1.048 million. That was the average of his best 3 games played in a 75-minute championship qualifier. Myles has a DAS PB according to the DAS PB leaderboard. According to that, not according to me, but according to a spreadsheet I looked at. A DAS PB of 1.21 million. It could be higher. I don't know. How am I supposed to know? Am I a psychic? I'm not. I don't know. That's what it says on the list. But anyway, we're going to go with that. So in virtue of Myles qualifying into that top 16, he got a 2-round bye. Everyone top 16 and above in the qualifiers did not have to play in the first 2 rounds. And so Myles gets a nice, comfortable start. Myles not ranked in DAS, but is the number 13th ranked player in the open rankings of the Premier poll. And that is for like open style tournaments. That's done once a month. Number 13 ranked on that. You can find the full results over at premierpoll.com, Premier with an E at the end. Myles is a 5-time CTWC Gold Bracket player. He's got 2 finishes in the top 8, and those were both in 24 and 25. We've also seen Myles winning CTWC's Desert Qualifier in Arizona in 2022. He is a 3-time CTM Monthly Masters finalist, most recently in October of 2024. Also played in Waco and Lone Star Austin events in 24, as well as the Oklahoma. Got second place in all those events as well. You've also seen him at the Kansas City Regional Genesis, that invitation-only Dallas Underground event. Played in our Stupid Tetris Monthly No Next Box Championship. Made it into the top 8 of that. And also played in our Stupid Tetris Monthly, what we're retconning as an annual championship in 2021. Got to the top 8 of that. Myles is one of the game crashers. And who can forget Myles' riveting win in Classic Tetris Brawl, September of 2020. 315 for Myles, 294 for Storm. You want to find a lot of social media stuff around a Tetris player, look for Myles Tetris on like every social platform, and you'll see him playing officially licensed Tetris games. 338 for Myles, 320 for Storm. And on the right side of your screen, it is Storm 957, who we'll be calling Storm. Now, Storm is, I believe, a player on Nesris Champs, also playing in some DAS events starting in August of 24. Played in our World Circuit. Those are the lower tiers of DAS Masters back when we were holding those. Maybe we'll hold those again. I don't know. Do people want lower tier DAS tournaments? Maybe they do. Maybe Hana wants to run that all year long. I don't know. But yeah, played in the World Circuit a couple of months. Played in DAS Masters proper in October and defeated a couple of heavy hitters in that one. Meme and Salted Sofa in the October one. And defeated Shuichi and Meme here in Mega Dasters. So, you know, taking out Meme in this event, pretty big deal. But overall, only 8 matches in the database for Storm. Now, here's the other thing about Storm. Storm is the, I guess, first player, only player to have, I guess, DAS 1.3 on keyboard. So there are 2, you know, kind of oddball DAS 1.3s, one on keyboard and one on a 19 start. And that second one is for Meme. First one is for Storm. 495 for Myles, 477 for Storm. So I'm rooting for Storm to figure out, you know, console and how to get console and get comfortable with that. And, you know, get Storm out to Jonas Cup next year. Because if you get a 1.3 on keyboard, I think that is harder. I don't know. I could be wrong. To my mind, that seems harder than getting it with a controller. On the one hand, you know, controller maybe less consistent in some ways. 489 for Storm. 529 for Myles. Maybe you can get quick taps a little bit easier on keyboard, possibly. But there's also, you know, I guess you can sort of play with run ahead or whatever. So maybe it's kind of close to a console. But we do see overall players having more success on console than on keyboard overall. Now, maybe that's just because there's a preference for console and not a lot of keyboard players. But I don't know. Hard to know. Oh, what I do know is you can't play keyboard at CTWC live events or any really live events. As far as I know. 535 for Storm, 614 for Myles. But why not, right? Wouldn't that be like, all right, someone brings their laptop and plays on keyboard. Would that be so bad? I mean, the YouTube and Twitch commentary, like normies would be, can I say the S word? Yeah, all the kids are watching CTWC. That would be a shitstorm. Okay, if somebody started, if they allowed people to bring keyboard to live events and play on that instead of having to play on console. 684 for Myles, 608 for Storm. Sage, thank you for the tier 1 sub, 34 months. Really appreciate that. Right now, Myles almost a 50,000 point lead, one line apart. Tetris for Storm, level 25 now. Now, these are best of 5s. I think once we hit the round of 16, we're going to maybe do best of 7s with a skunk rule. And that means if you win the first 3, then that's it. It's kind of a mercy rule. No best of 7 comebacks. And then the last 2 rounds, maybe best of 7 proper. 775 for Myles, 749 for Storm. Tetris Storm, 785. So it's like you allow a best of 7 to happen so long as the players like keep it close. Oh, Myles is, oh my goodness. Oh no, this is going to be a top out for Myles. And Storm is good in game number 1. Do best of 11 like in Europe. It's a little bit overkill. Like, yeah, obviously, the more games, the more that skill advantage, has time to express itself, and luck gets, eliminated more and more. But there's got to be a limit. All right, new pieces, players. When you are ready, 6E5FFA. 6E5FFA. Can a Famicom keyboard be made to work on an NES? I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, what if we did that? Just like the next Lone Star, we just allowed people to play on, keyboard. People would flip out. Assuming we do a Lone Star. It's very expensive to run those things. E5 FFA. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let's get them started. Game number 2. Storm is up 1-0 over Myles. 3-2-1 Tetris. So let's see, it's 3 o'clock in Portland. They said they have a hard out at 5 o'clock. Will they make it? Are they on track to make it? If they get this thing done by 5 o'clock, it'll be a miracle. Like, it's very impressive. All right, Myles starting off with a covered well, but he's working it down. What does rank mean? Rank NR for current players on the screen. Those are the DAS rankings, the Premier Poll. So if you go to premierpoll.com, you can find rankings for players. For DAS, they do a top 20 ranking, and NR just means that they are not ranked. So they did not appear in the DAS rankings. They're like an unranked player. And if they are a ranked player, you'll see a number with their rank on it. 102 for Myles, 123 for Storm. I have to approach Pumpy with some ideas about the poll. Do you think Pumpy will? Do you think I can get an audience with Pumpy? Or is our Tetris relationship too fractured? 196 for Storm, 198 for Myles. Tetris for Myles, 272. 228 for Storm. All right, obviously everybody that can watch Jonas Cup is watching Jonas Cup. But if you are watching this with audio and you can hear my voice right now, type blueberry in chat. All right, just type blueberry. Just curious who's watching with the sound off and if anybody's watching with the sound on. I gotta know who the real CTM fans are. All right, Edward P.O., ASZYD, Mino Floof, Acidic Ascetic. All right, the real fans. Zard Jordan. Big Pile Guam listening with sound on. Look at that. See, y'all are my special friends. You can be part of Club Vandy. 369 for Storm, 352 for Myles. Xeno Wraith, okay. Thank you, Xeno Wraith. Now, people could just be typing blueberry because they see other people typing blueberry, but they're not actually listening. I forgot to account for that. Does Club Vandy come with free blueberry muffins? God, I haven't had a blueberry muffin in years. It sounds so good right now. 419 Storm, there's a Tetris Myles. I am doing this more or less alternate day fasting. Not exactly. Basically, I'm doing rolling 48 and 72 hour fasts in essence. And today was an eating day. Did not have a blueberry. Why would anyone do that? Because I'm, big and fat. I gotta stop being fat. It's the best way. For me, consult your doctor. All right. 484 for Myles, 493 for Storm. I'm back. I'm in it to win it. At the very end. Like I'm taking it all the way to the end. Not gonna stop short of the goal. I'll go to Jonas Cup next year, and instead of big chonker Vandy, I'm gonna be like how there's like I'm gonna be one of the like skinny geeks walking around. That's my goal. Myles in a lot of trouble. 513 needs something for that left side. Okay, finds a burn there. An L would help a lot. He's trying to keep this open, but this is not going to happen. Myles is going to top out. And Storm is already ahead and takes game number 2. Myles says, I need to lock in. Oh, why would anyone say blueberry just because they saw others say it? Because the same reason 90% of people do everything they do in life all the time. Because that's what other people do. Right? That's why that's how most people live their lives, Wraith. EADE6B. Of course, nobody in this chat. We are all agential, independent, thinking, self-directed people, right? But that's everyone else. Not us, right? All right, EADE6B. EADE6B. All right, it's game number 3. Myles has got to win this one if he wants a chance to move on. Storm is 1 win away. 3-1 Tetris. EA Sports. It's in the game. Yeah. So I used to work for EA. Okay. In the support department, I was a support agent and later a manager. The escalation manager. I used to do like corporate escalations. So people would, contact, I didn't get my Madden coins, so I'm going to contact the CEO, right? CEO is not going to fix it, but they send it to a special escalation team. And that is the team that I managed when I worked at EA. But of course, a lot of times the games were just beyond broken and really nothing you could do. So, one of the things we used to say is like, EA Sports can't fix your game. Like there is nothing we could do. We had a sense of humor about it. 138 for Myles, 139 for Storm. Did I feel a sense of pride and accomplishment? I mean, listen, it's a good company. I was there a lot. I don't know. A lot of you guys might be a little too young to remember, but this would have been like 2010, 2011, 2012. And this is when EA unfairly won the Worst Company in America award because of some issues with SimCity requiring an always-on connection. That was, I guess, bad. Because of couple other issues, some DLC thing, and a couple other things. I forget what it even was. We weren't even close to the worst company in America. But, of course, I was managing the corporate escalation team, including social escalation. So if something blew up on Twitter, like my team was the one that handled it. And, of course, doing that the year that we won the Worst Company in America award, you can imagine was not a fun year. And we also handled all the complaints to the Better Business Bureau. So yeah, you can imagine that was a very stressful time and job. And basically all those complaints, all those top level complaints, those like really high priority ones, they went to a team of like me managing 6 people. Like that's what the team was. That was not fun. 287 for Storm, 291 for Myles. I did make it into the credits of Battlefield, I think. Whatever Battlefield we released while I was there, was it Battlefield 3? I did make it into the credits. And maybe in one other game. Tetris for Storm, 314, 337 for Myles. Best escalator, Vandy Pants. That's right. I was not an escalator. The buck stopped with my team. There was no higher escalation team you could go to. That's pretty much the teams I manage. Is buck stops here team where there's no higher level of support. Those are the teams that I have a lot of experience managing now. So by the way, if you're hiring and you need someone to manage a top tier escalation team, let me know. 439 for Myles, 432 for Storm. There's another Tetris Myles, 484, 456 for Storm. All right, there's a nice double there for Storm. Looking to keep this low and flat and get to Tetris Storm 505. Myles right now, small lead. Blocked well. Uncovers Tetris Myles 540. You know, I gotta get a job, guys. I'm never gonna buy a house if I keep doing CTM, my full-time work, right? 547 for Myles. He's on 19. 555 for Storm. There's a Tetris for Myles. Storm is into 19 now. Tetris Storm, 614. Trying to keep that board low. Storm with a small lead, about 20,000 points, something like that. 6 lines back. There's a Tetris Storm, 648. Tetris Myles, 633. So 60 lines to go until 230 lines. That's level 29. Myles is back by 63,000 points. It's about 2 Tetrises at these levels, or a little over 2 Tetrises. The Storm's board needs some attention. Holes, cleaning them up. Myles, 688. Storm clean, now building. Storm uncovers the well. And uncovers again, gets the Tetris Storm. 783. Myles trying to keep that open amidst a bit of a drought. 30 lines to go for Myles until 29 gets a Tetris. 759. Tetris for Storm. 820. There's a Tetris Myles. All right, good little delayed burn there. Another Tetris Myles, 826. He's actually got a score lead, but he's ahead by 10 lines. Storm not clean, but he does have a Tetris open. There's the Tetris. He is clean, but he's not built up. Myles, Tetris is 860. 1,000 points apart, 2,000 points apart, something like that. There's a Tetris Myles. He's got to get as many as he can get. Myles with another Tetris. He needs to get one more. He needs to really get as many as he can get. Storm here. Oh no, Storm. That left side for Storm might not be survivable. And Storm is not going to do a lot of scoring after this anyway. And oh, Myles is going to miss that Tetris. It doesn't matter because Storm was topping out. So Myles is going to take game 3 and hang on in this match. So just about all the way to the end again. Myles says, wow, lucky. Yeah, I think so. I mean, Storm had runway. If he could have, knocked this down, it was only, 2 Tetris lead, and he had room to get them. But Myles is good. The players, if you need to take a moment, you can. That's not a real countdown. All right, there we go. Seed is here. A2, F0, A5. Hit the wrong button. A2, F0, A5. All right, now I gotta go peek over to Jonas Cup, see what's going on. What is happening? Okay, I see what is happening. All right, looks like both players are ready. A2, F0, A5. Game number 4, Storm and Myles. Myles needs to win this one to force a deciding game number 5. Storm looking to wrap it up right now. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Really close matches, close games. 2 out of the 3. Really, all 3 of them really have been pretty close. Now I think about it. All right, interesting board here for Myles. Long bar goes in. Tetris 139 for him, 138 for Storm. Storm gonna Tetris. Myles cleaning up. Oh, good adjust there for the blue J. All right, Storm going to take that triple while a bar was in the window. Maybe could have done a pullback there, but decided to go with that triple. And I think that's going to allow Myles to keep it close. There's a 3,000 points separating these two players, 1 line apart. Yeah, if Fractal gets to the finals of Jonas Cup, that'll be a crazy finals. Basically, the defending Jonas Cup champ versus the most successful DAS player of the last year. Myles is in trouble, and that is a top out for Myles. Storm is already ahead. Yikes. So, Storm, you are good, and you will be moving on to the round of 16 to take on Bendy. GG's, Myles. I know it's not how you wanted to go out, but you played great. It's always a pleasure. So hope to see you again in future events. But at least now you get to go watch Jonas Cup. All right, Storm, we'll give you the 3. Congrats to you. Let me go report this to the authorities. So 48 seed Storm, 3-1. Someone need to check him console and game. Storming ahead, says Luis. Oh my goodness gracious. Get out of here. All right, players, if you need to take a moment, you can. Gonna run ad, set up the next one. Should be quick, though. And this is the, what, round of 16, right? All right, guys, whoops. Give me a moment and I'll be right back. All right, y'all. Thank you for your patience. Just had to go take care of some personal business. All right, the pieces are going to be delivered in the chat. AE3F12. Lapis, thank you for the tier 1 sub, 27 months. Appreciate that. Chrissy in chat, Chef Boyer Jeebs, welcome. You're late? You are late. Chef Boyer Jeeps, how did you get VIP? How did that happen? Was I drunk? All right, looks like both players are ready. I don't drink, that's why it's weird. All right, AE3F12, Bendy versus Storm. This is going to be a best of 5. So this is a best of, actually, wait, so it's top 6, this is top 16. So this is going to be basically best of. Is this best of? This is we'll stay with best of 5 until you get to the top 8. All right, best of 5. Bendy versus Storm in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, I forgot what the best ofs are. I forgot what rounds we were in. So it's still best of 5. Once we get to the rounds of 8. I forgot what it was. I forgot what it was. We'll go best of 5 for top 16. Top 8. Should we go best of 7, top 8? Let's go best of 7, top 8. Let's do that. All right, 54,000 Bendy, 92,000 for Storm. Did we have a contribution to that prize pool? I think we did. I am kind of making the rules up on the fly. A little bit. Well, I forgot what they were supposed to be. I'm an idiot. Anyway, on the left side of your screen, Bendy, number 1 seed, United States of America, PB of 1.29 million. Got a 2-round buy in virtue of that number 1 seed. I think we had a contribution from Serial Number, $10. Thank you, Serial Number. I think I missed that earlier, but thank you. 104 Bendy, 123 for Storm. So Bendy had a 1.167. So that's his average of his top 3 games in a 75-minute qualifier, which is crazy. With Das, the Das PB of 1.298. Chef Boyardee, you say 6-7 in chat one more time. Nothing will happen to you, but don't do it. Anyway, Bendy, first player ever to clear B-type level 19 height 5 with Das. The winner of CTWC's silver bracket in 2024 won a hopeful circuit back in 23. That was in September. It's been a runner-up in our monthly Das Masters. That was back in January of this year. And also this year, made it to the semis twice as well. Top 4 in CTWC Vegas this year. He made his debut in the gold bracket of CTWC this year. Went out against Tristop. Also played in Mega Masters in 24. Bendy also played in our stupid Tetris Monthly No Next Box Championship. Went out against Myles the Great. Also made top 8 in Tap Masters this year. So a master of many styles. A master of all the styles that don't win top tier tournaments. But all the other styles he's great at. 246 for Bendy, 286 for Storm. Tetris for Bendy, 269, 308 for Storm. On the right side, it is Storm. Oh, did I say who Bendy defeated? Yeah, Bendy defeated Micetro in the round of 32 to get here to the top 16 rounds. All right, Storm on the right side. Defeated Myles to get here. Seed number 48. Do not roll, Bendy. Oh my goodness. He's troll rolling. 362 Bendy, 378 Storm. Now, Storm does not have a lot of matches in the match database. I think just this would be his like 10th match in that database. Started playing in our events back in August of last year. Played in the lower tiers of Das Masters in the World Circuit, August and September. Made his Das Masters top tier debut in October and defeated two tough players, Meme and Salted Sofa, in that event. And Storm, of course, started out in round one, defeated Shuichi in round one and Meme in round two. So Storm undefeated against Meme. And Storm also the first player ever to get a 1.3 with Das on keyboard, or at least recorded, as far as we know. Or as far as I know. Maybe somebody else knows. 503 for Bendy, 523 for Storm. Tetris Bendy 552, 557 Storm. Both players now headed into level 20 momentarily. Storm is in, Bendy's in. 7,000 point lead Storm. So yeah, it was really curious to me. I went to look. Well, I know we have a bracket today. Who's in it? Let me see. And all four players are U.S. Americans. And not at Jonas Cup. So I thought when we had a bracket, at least maybe a couple of them would be international, or European, or players from Asia. But no, both players, Americans, not playing in Jonas Cup. And great players. You could easily expect Bendy, Micetro, Myles to make a run in Jonas Cup. Storm, you could, except Storm plays on keyboard. Not quite console adapted yet. Maybe someday. 629 for Bendy, 730 for Storm. A 1.3 player is Seed 48. What happened in your absence of the community? Yeah, when you leave, everything gets better. My goodness. 793 for Storm, 669 for Bendy. I know everything would get better if I left, but I can't. I'm addicted. Tetris for Bendy, 766. 803 for Storm. And we're just a little over 30 lines to go in this game number one till we hit level 29. That is going to be when the speed doubles. It'll kill these players' games. And we're basically a Tetris apart. Storm here, that left side is going to be a problem. He's got to bring this down whatever he can do. That left side for Storm is going to be fatal. Unless he can pull out a miracle. Yeah, that's going to be a top out for Storm. 874 target for Bendy. One more line clear will do it. One more line clear for Bendy will do it. Gets it with the Tetris. Bendy is good. So Bendy will take game number one. We'll watch him mulling it out, try to get the unnecessary max out. All right, there's the tuck of the T. And not going to be able to get it, but pretty good game for both. Bendy, number one seed, takes game number one. So it's not a lot of competitions where you're going to see seed 1 versus seed 48, but DAS competition very possible. All right, checking them seeds. C98558. Yes. The players ready. Game number 2. Bendy up 1 game to none. Storm looking to tie it up. 3-2-1. Tetris. All right, we are underway in game number 2. $119 for Bendy. A skimming a Tetris there for Storm. I haven't said skimming a Tetris in a while, so it might not be a canonical skimming a Tetris, but I really feel like I wanted to say it. I don't know why. Zook with the sub on Twitch. Thank you, Zook. 152, Bendy, 145 for Storm. Zook, 6 months in advance. Really appreciate that, Zook. You get a discount, guys. If you subscribe for 6 months in advance, don't do it on the phone. Do it on the computer, as Norm Macdonald would say. Buy in bulk. Yeah, exactly. You got a discount. 268 Bendy, 240 for Storm. Tetris Bendy 317. These players are playing for a top 8 spot, so we are really getting pretty close to the very last rounds of these tournaments. This will be the first top 8er of this tournament determined. Yeah, Zook, you can freeze butter for a long time. All right, Storm's left side is going to be very much helped by one long bar and could really use one more. Going to bring it down, though, with a combo of an L and a J, and brings it down with the Tetris 346. Tetris Bendy 439, 375 Storm. Zook, freezers are very efficient. Because especially if they're full, once the food is frozen, it doesn't take a lot of energy to keep it frozen. $5.12 for Bendy, $4.48 for Storm. Storm setting up Tetris. Bendy is into 19 at 571, 523 entry into 19 for Storm. So Bendy, almost a 50,000 point advantage. Basically, 2 Tetris lead for Bendy at the 19 transition. Nice S-spin there for Bendy to keep that right side open. Skimming it down, Tetris 639, 586 for Storm. Bendy clean. Storm is cleaning. Gonna try to set up maybe one row off the bottom. But the game not really giving him pieces he can use for that. And yeah, has to quick tap that S to the left side. Storm still not opening up that right yet. Okay, finally does. And there's a Tetris for Storm, 627. That's one row off the bottom column, 10. 680 for Bendy. Tetris for Bendy. Tetris Bendy 732, 695. Couple of necks here, says Zook. Yeah, they're about a Tetris and change apart. The Tetris is on 24, worth 30,000. There's a Tetris Storm, column 8. Oh, early shift there for Bendy with that J piece, going to slow him down a little. And they're just a couple lines apart, couple thousand points apart. This game's going to come down to the wire. Tetris Storm 798. Bendy getting that piece over to the left with the quick tap. Tetris Storm. Bendy Tetris. Try to minimize burns as always. But 17,000 point lead for Storm. Basically lines tied. It's going to go all the way to the end. Who's going to stay clean? Who's going to minimize burns? Bendy really trying to push the efficiency here. 857 for him. Storm has a covered well here on 28. Bendy is waiting for a bar on 28 at 858, and it's not going to come. Can Storm get one? If he can, then it would be over in this. No, and Bendy will hang on. So a drought at the end is going to end both players' games, but Bendy had the advantage. Bendy is going to take game number 2. And that is the thing. You know, you get toward the end of these games and you think, oh man, I'm just going to, if I can stay clean, and my opponent can get dirty, I can overcome this here. But the problem is that the game has to comply. The game, if the game doesn't put in bars, then your chase down plans and aspirations can go down the drain. And that's kind of what happened for Storm here. Wow. All right, new pieces for the players. You can take a moment if you need it. Right to the end. 4-5 FD62. Zoltan says 6 O pieces in 7. That's crazy. Listen, Zoltan, I'm not sure if you've played NES Tetris before, but that can happen. Hydrate. All right, we all have to hydrate. All right, 4-5 FD62. By the way, everybody in this match so far have been perfect with seed, so congratulations, players. All right, let's get them started. Game number 3, Storm needs to win to stay in. Game number 3, Bendy and Storm, 3-2-1 Tetris. Starting off with the double J. And simul stacking. Not quite simul, but really close. All right, Bendy able to stay clean. Storm with some gaps. Tetris for Bendy. So both players with DAS records. Of course, Bendy, first player 19.5. B-type with DAS. Storm, first player 1.3 on keyboard with DAS. Meeting here in the round of 16. We're Storm in that seed number 48. I think a bit of an underqual from Storm, but that's why we have a 64-player tournament for the championship. Really give players a chance to make up for a low qualifier. You know, in the monthlies, it's not a big deal. Okay, you didn't make it this month. Kind of underqualled. You can try again next month. But championship, really want to include everybody who has got a chance. We've seen multiple seeds from, below the 32 make it into the round of 32. So that is a win for the overall format. Maybe not for the qualifying format, but in the end, what are you going to do? I mean, it's, best 3 games, 75 minutes. I guess you could have them play for, 3 hours and total all their points, but it's crazy. 211 Bendy, 194 for Storm. Big Pile Guam says DAS is hard. Well, yeah, and it's like the format, it is a win for the format because you want to include players who are great at qualifying and less good at comp and great at comp and not as good at qualifying. And so you've got kind of a double check on players like that. And they are included more in a 64-player tournament than a 32. You're probably never qualifying again then, says Serenity. I mean, I'm sure you'll be able to get in. Would love to have you. Yeah, these DAS tournaments bringing a lot of players back, With Serenity back. Of course, Serenity, the founder of Classic Tetris Pal and of the legendary CTC Discord server. Rest in peace. 327 for Bendy, 347 for Storm. Of course, one of those things gone, one of those not very active. If they're active at all. But it's like, it's not easy, you know? Most things that start up like this just end. At some point, they just kind of end. But CTM, right? Vandy's got you. Vandy around 7-8 years, whatever it is. Your old pal Vandy, keeping it going. I've only really wanted to delete the Discord server one time, but I didn't do it. But I really wanted to. But I didn't. $427 Bendy, $446 for Storm. But we're in a good stable place right now. And by the way, if you do want to support the channel, make sure that I don't delete the Discord server. Support command here has some ways that you can support the channel. You've also, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you got a Twitch Prime Gaming sub you can use. If you're on YouTube, you got super chat, super stickers, super thanks, everything like that. Bits and subs on Twitch. And patreon.com/monthly Tetris. Do you remember when I played Tyler P on your deathmatch? Yeah. I mean, that's foundational NES Tetris history. 547 for Storm into 19, 545 for Bendy. So they're both right there with each other. They enter 19. Bendy with a little cleanup to do. And it's Tetris there for Bendy. We didn't know it was Joseph at the time. We did not. Of course, that account got handed around, right? Sometimes it was Joseph. Sometimes it was... I think there are a couple other players in there as well. That was probably later. At the time, it was Joseph. $628 for Bendy, $612 for Storm. Really, Serenity was right there for arguably the most important moment for the online classic Tetris scene. Storm gonna top out at 620. 638 for Bendy. Bendy, you are good. You have won this match against Storm. You're in the midst of topping out, but it didn't matter. Bendy gonna sweep his way into the top 8. So GG's Bendy, you are in the top 8, seed number 1. Storm, you did great. You came in seed number 48. Defeated Shuichi in round 1. Meme in round 2. Myles in round 3. And ran into seed number 1 in round 4. So cannot underestimate the job that Storm did in this one. Congratulations to you. Not an easy path at all. You did great. So congratulations to you on your performance. All right, Storm, congratulations to you, Bendy. We're going to report this. We'll show you a bracket. Show you where we are at. 3-0 Bendy. Well, that means you're all free to go watch the Jonas Cup now. Is it over? Are we at the finals? All right, let's go ahead and show you the... we got top 8. So Bendy's the first one into the top 8. Here's your top 16, what that looks like. Bendy and Storm played a top 16 match. Bendy is through. Eliash is through. And if you want to look at the entire round of 32, there it is. So congrats, Bendy. Now, the next stream is scheduled. That's Masters. No other Das Masters is scheduled. I'm sure once Zepro comes back from Jonas Cup, we'll get a lot of that scheduled. But we have a single solitary Masters match scheduled on Tuesday. And that is gonna do it for us. So we will see you when we see you. Thanks to those of you who supported this stream. We'll let that Fractal, the most cracked speech ever before the finals. I cannot watch the speeches. I have a hard time watching those speeches. I don't want to get emotional. Czar, Jordan, Sage, Lapis, Zook, appreciate that. Thank you so much. Patron, Scott, Gray, Jane, the Window, Canaan, Tacky, Corporal, Shelby, Troy, N, Kim, M, Rogue, Potato, Cat, Kid, Java, T, Jason, Sonny, Jr. Thank you for your support. And everybody else on the slide, plus a few more to add. We will get you added. Thank you so much for your support as well. Patreon.com/monthly Tetris. Make an ongoing pledge of support to keep this channel going. Other ways to support us are in the support command, so find those there. We had a $10 contribution to the prize pool. Yeah, by the next time we have a Mega Dasters stream, I will try to have all the tiers and incentives and what we're looking to try to get in this prize pool. Thanks to Serial Number for the $10 contribution and everybody else who contributed. All right, that is going to do it. YouTube, go watch Jonas Cup. Whatever's left, take care. Bye-bye. And I don't know what else.